Welcome to my special Christmas stream. A little bit late, of course, so that makes me feel a bit silly. Only 10 minutes though. Just blame my cooking basically. So, what should we do first? No, I've got my dinner. I'm so hungry. I can't wait. I can't even wait to try a bit of this, to be honest. I'm really hungry. Just drinking some white at the minute. So, the whole reason why actually doing this today is I want to drink some mulled wine, see how that is going to be. So I've got a cheap one. Well, cheap one, this was like £2.50, £5. And then I'm going to make my own. And then I'm also going to maybe open some presents. If anybody joins me, maybe no one will join me because they're also busy with their families. But I tend to have Christmas by myself. Hi Lou, thank you for joining me. I thought I was going to be by myself forever then. Hi Adam, nice to see you as well. Thank you for joining me on my Christmas stream. I'm just trying to have my dinner because I'm so hungry. And these roast potatoes that I made are amazing. I've got some massive stuffing balls. I don't know if you can see them. Like the biggest stuffing balls you ever see in your life. Yeah, I think it's weird. Like no other day you would have your dinner so early. Like if I had dinner at 2:15 on a normal day, I would think there was something wrong. I've got a little cup. This little cup is the only one that I've got that holds hot liquid. So I was gonna do this one before the live stream, but I had a phone call, so I haven't prepared the homemade mulled wine yet. So I think we're gonna start with the cheapest one, then the more expensive one, and then the homemade one. So I'm going to prepare that one, go put it on the stove, come back, and then these ones I'm just going to do like a glass of, because I can't drink three bottles of red wine in one day. I'd have an awful headache tomorrow. I need to finish this one so I can start on the mulled wine. It's very chilly being in the basement, but I had to have a couple of glasses of wine beforehand. With these front two, I'm going to measure out how much fits in this glass, run back to the kitchen, heat it up. If it doesn't take long, because I've done it before with these ones where I've just done a glass at a time. Because if you're the only person drinking it, you don't want a whole big like pot of it. It's going to go cold so quickly, especially being in the cold. And then this one, I'm going to have to do the whole bottle because that's what it says in the recipe. So I chose a Merlot for my for the one that I'm mulling at home, because that's what the internet said would be good. So well, I don't know, like I don't know if my mum's there. Are you there, mum? Have you managed to work out how to see me? I'm not sure if you figured it out. Because I have to be at work in the morning, so that's why we're having drinks now. Kind of early, but it's Christmas, so it doesn't really matter, I suppose. I'm guessing you guys have all been drinking too, so let me know in the comments what you've been drinking. Have you drunk any wine, or is you more of a cider person? Kind of just want to down this so I can start drinking the mulled wine, but I know I have to be careful for I don't want to be kicked off from Twitch from drinking excessively. So I'm trying to drink it at a reasonable pace so we can. My predictions really. The cheaper one's going to be more artificial, and this one's going to taste like more rich. And then the one I'm going to do myself, which I'm going to show you how to because of hidden some stuff under the table to be able to show you how to do it. um, Hopefully it'll be nice, because I think Merlot is very deep and rich, isn't it, I suppose? And I could chug it, like, that is like a chuggable amount, to be honest. And then we can start pouring it in. But oh, that's that one done. So I'm gonna start by showing you how to um, do your own mulled wine. So I'm just gonna move my dinner over. So, like I said before, the recipe I'm using, it says that the best wine to use for mulling your own is Merlot. So we've got some Merlot. And then, like a bit like Blue Peter, this is like a saucepan I prepared earlier. So, ta-da, saucepan I prepared earlier. And then in here, I've got two tea bags of like spices. They smell, I don't know, not of a lot, to be honest. Hopefully this will work. I thought it would smell a bit stronger. Then also in there I've got some brown sugar, which I am going to try to show you. No? Anyway. So 2 tea bags, a little bit of brown sugar, and then the whole bottle, the whole bottle of wine. Like, this is an expensive bottle of wine. It's I think I got it from the bottom shelf, basically. I didn't want to get a expensive bottle of wine to do stuff and put sugar and spices with. So, don't know, just, it doesn't smell special, it just smells like wine. So we're going to add a whole bottle of wine. Can you hear that? I hope you can hear the gluggy sound. That would be cool. Okay. Whole bottle of wine is in. Right, there you go. Empty. The worst thing is, because I'm doing the whole bottle of this, I should probably drink all of this today, whilst the other two I'm only going to do a cup of each. Yeah, so maybe I should have got something to stir it. I think you also have to add some water in this, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to run off a minute to the kitchen. Wish I could take you with me, but this setup is complicated. I'm going to put in some water, and I'm going to leave it really, really low on the stove, because it's supposed to like infuse for 10 minutes. If I do it really low, then it can just sort of warm up while I'm doing all the other stuff. And then I'm going to come back with another saucepan, and then we will try the cheapest one. So I think this was £2.50, this bottle here. Right, here I'm back with a slightly smaller saucepan. I'll keep thinking the camera's there. It's there. So what have we all got for Christmas? Any good Christmas presents this year? Did you get what you want? Right, so this is, it's only 5.5% this one, so it smells like really cinnamony. Is that a word? It is now. Um, so yeah, so with these two, like, I'm going to pour it in this glass first, and then pour it into the saucepan, and then it's only going to take, I don't know, a few seconds to heat up. Hopefully, I've done it before with some mulled wine where I just pour every glass I just poured the glass, went and heated it up, and poured it back in. How much do I want? I think that's enough. That's quite a, like, it's a small glass. Like, mulled wine's supposed to be quite substantial, so. Hmm. I think the difficult bit is to pour that back into that without spilling it everywhere. That's going to be the one. I'm gonna go and heat this up, and I'll bring it back in like it's gonna take like 30 seconds, literally. I wish I had like a stove in my living room, and this would have made this much easier, to be honest. Here I am with the saucepan back. Now I've got to try and pour the saucepan of really hot mulled wine into this really tiny cup. Um, it smells really overpowering of cloves. You know, like the black Christmas spice, not like 4-leaf clover thing. Like, oh gosh, so that's why I put something down on the table so I don't destroy it. I'm definitely gonna spill a little bit, I think. Right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Whee! Okay, that wasn't too bad. Where do I put the hot saucepan? How hot is it? Oh, quite hot. As I touch the bottom of a burning hot saucepan. I'm just gonna put it on the carpet. That's where that thing should live. It was perfect, wasn't it? I've even impressed myself there. Yeah, so definitely. I don't know if I'm judging it because I know it's the cheapest, but it just feels very like it doesn't feel like it was fresh spices involved. It smells like I don't know. It does smell nice, but not the nicest mulled wine that I've ever had. And that's the best thing to me about winter is all the hot alcohol you can drink. So let's give it a taste. It definitely has a lot more taste than it does smell. You can taste citrus, like you can taste more. You can't smell citrus in it, but when you taste it, you can taste the citrus. It's nice, but I couldn't drink. I'm just thinking about eating right now. I don't think I could drink a lot of it. Don't. I won't burn the car. It's not that hot. I could touch it. So, carpet is fine. A big plate of roast potatoes. Yes, I love that idea. Like this is the first time in like 2 years, maybe 3 years that I've actually made a full plate of food rather than just having roast potatoes and gravy as a dipping. Because my favourite part of the meal is roast potatoes because my roast potatoes are just amazing. I think was it last year? I think it was last year. I made just a grazing board. I literally just had like cheese and crackers and olives and stuff like that, and a couple of bottles of wine, and I just sat and grazed on them all day. Um, so it does make a change to have a proper meal. I do have to make you some potatoes though. These ones this year are particularly nice. I don't know if you're going to be able to see how it's going to focus. That it's not focusing. Can you see that? I just think it's a blur, to be honest, but they are really nice. Right, have some more of this mulled wine. Oh, I need to make sure I don't forget about the one that's on the stove, because that will be a nasty mess. This is the only time of year you would have like hot alcohol, so I don't know, maybe like what else is hot? So you can have mulled wine, you can have mulled cider, hot toddy. What is hot toddy? I think it's like whiskey. Is it hot toddy whiskey? It's more of like, to me, when I think of hot toddy, I just think of like Victorian aged people huddling around like a fire in the middle of the street. um, Now you can make it posh and serve it in a teacup. We went for some mulled wine at a bar near where we live, and it was served in a teacup and saucer with a little gingerbread man with it, and I loved that. 'Cause, oh, it was just amazing. And a little bit better than this mulled wine I'm drinking now as well. Add a rum shot to the mulled wine. I've never added rum to mulled wine. I think it was more of a cider thing. Also, I don't have any rum. Do we have rum? We might have rum, but it's not open. I'm not allowed to open it. There is something in the kitchen. I've got some brandy. Got a little bit of brandy left. I think, yeah, I don't think rum and wine will go well, but maybe brandy and wine will go well because um that's two Christmassy flavours, I suppose. So let's do like a final verdict on this one. I still don't know how well this camera is recording or showing you. So this is the one I'm drinking right now. So it is it's quite artificial. Like it's not something you'd want more than a glass of. It's quite heavy. It just, yeah, you can taste that it costs £2.50 basically. Obviously, I know a lot of people do spend Christmas by themselves, and people think it's sad that I spend Christmas by myself, but after a busy week at work, it's nice not to have so much going on. Um, and usually over Christmas, I just have Christmas Day off anyway. And we did it once before where we were rushing around, seeing different relatives all day. And it was awful because you couldn't spend the amount, like, you'd have to you spend an hour with someone, then leave, and they don't want to leave, and you don't want to leave. So it's just that I think there's too much pressure. Like, Christmas has kind of lost its sparkle a bit as we've grown up. Like, as you know, when you're children, or if you have children, I suppose it's different because you know, when you're a child, you love Christmas, and when you've got children, you do it for them. But as an adult, it's just another day, really. I'm just glad not to have to leave the house today. Nearly finished this one, and we can and then try the slightly more tastier one. No, no. Does this have an ingredient list? Do you think? I'm still having got glasses on. Da, 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 da. It just says crafted with the finest festive flavours to give an aromatic blend of cinnamon, nutmeg, clove spices, and zesty citrus fruits. It doesn't say if it's natural flavouring or artificial flavouring or whatever sort of flavouring it is. Right, so the next one. Let's have a look at this next one. Oh, so this is 11%, this one. And this one was 5.5. And that one's 13. So actually the more money you spend, the more percentage of alcohol you get. That's the thing now. Yeah, so what does it say? Does it have any ingredients? It says rich in red berries, cinnamon, and citrus notes. That's about it. There's no ingredients for these. So I just want to know if they're made with like whole spices or is it like powder? Because this tastes like it was made from like powdered spices. I think. Is that all gone? Now it's all gone. Mm. Right, so this one was £5. Oh, it smells so different from that one. I've got to compare them. I've got to compare them. Let's compare the smells. Mm. Yeah, this one is, I think it's the cinnamon and the cloves are really in the forefront of the flavours of this one. This one is like, smells more mellow. Just make them try and figure out which lid is for which one. Yeah, so this one is much more mellow. Right, I'm going to do my little poury measury thing. Right, so how much of this one do we want? Oh, it looks darker. It does look darker. Oh, it smells so much more inviting. Like, look how dark that is. I'm not sure if you can see how dark that is. But it does smell really nice. I'm actually really looking forward to drinking this one now because it smells so good. Maybe this one might be better than the one we've done at home. You never know your luck. Right, I'm gonna go heat this up. Right, this one actually smells more like traditional mulled wine is supposed to smell like. Oh, it's just, oh, that's so nice. Right, let's see if I can get this in one. Hopefully. I won't burn myself. Oh, yeah, I did it in one again. Yeah, I think that'd be fine on the carpet, to be honest. Right, that is a bit hot, so I thought I'd try and open some Christmas presents while we're sat here. So, cards. Any other cards? No. So I've got a few presents to open. A couple from my mum, Nan, and my dad. So I think looking at this is a card from my dad. I think it's still going to be too hot to drink, but it does taste really nice. Did you boil the red wine? It's mulled wine. It's supposed to be hot. Yeah, so mulled wine, I don't know where it came from originally. I don't know. I think anybody just wants to put all the Christmas spices in everything at Christmas. But I'm pretty sure it's probably something more traditional than that. But it's really nice. Like you don't heat it up like to boiling point. You just warm it through, and then that plus the warming of the spices just makes you warm and fuzzy inside. So um, it's nice. I think it's not many people really like mold stuff, I suppose. The Romans invented it. Of course they did, because they invented everything. So we've stolen roads and mulled wine from the Romans. Mm. This mulled wine is definitely better than that first one. It's smoother, it's less sweet, it's easier to drink. The other one you could only probably have a glass of, and it would have been too much, too thick and gloopy, I think. A bit more mulled wine. Like, I don't know, after today, I don't know what I'm going to do with all these mulled wines. Because I suppose once they're open, they don't really last that long, do they? Because they're like they're all screw tops. Well, this one I've had to decant this whole one anyway. Because they're screw tops, they should last longer. And then the flat I live in is really cold anyway. So hopefully they should last a while. Just got to remember that I still have something on the stove. Oh, my mum is here. Hello, Mum. Hello, Mark. Hello, Mia. I was starting to think you forgot about me. Right, so that is um, two mulled wines down. So you've done the cheap one, this one. Then we've got the medium one, and then we've got the one on the stove where I've just said to use the whole bottle. So I poured the whole bottle into a saucepan, added some sugar and some spices and some water, and it's just been bubbling away in the kitchen. So that's going to be the next test. So far, this is my favourite, the more expensive one. The cheaper one was it tasted the flavouring of it was a bit too artificial for me. Um, like this is something you could drink a few glasses of, but this one is you couldn't drink more than a glass of this because it's so rich and thick and syrupy. I don't know if I should go check on this mulled wine I've got on the stove. It's very, very low. I just let it to kind of simmer away on the lowest setting on the stove to kind of infuse it like and get as much spice in there as possible. Put maybe the wine in a jug and then pour it into there. But do I keep the bags of spices in it? I'm not really sure. I'll get the last variety of mulled wine that we're having today. And then hopefully I've done it correctly and it tastes nice. Because if it doesn't taste nice, it's going to be such a waste of a whole bottle of wine. Right, so here I am with a massive jug of homemade mulled wine. Oh, so this is, I'll show you. So this is what's in here. It's a whole bottle of Merlot, a bit of sugar, and then 2 bags of spices. It's really, really hot. You can see the steam coming off of it. Yeah, it does smell nice. I was a bit worried because I didn't really know how long, like, to me, all the spices have to infuse for a long time. So, part of me just wants to just drink it from the jug. But one, it's very hot, and two, I'd probably spill most of it. The jug's wider than my face, so I'll probably end up spilling it down myself. And this is my newest Christmas jumper, so I don't want to be doing that. To let this cool slightly. So I'm just gonna. It's really heavy. That's not all of it. There's still some left in the saucepan, but I don't want to fill the jug up so high that as soon as I poured it, I would just pour it all over the table. Right. So I've actually got one more thing to open while we wait for that to cool down. You can see it smoking. I know you can see it smoking because I can see it in my little video of the stream that it's smoking. So right. So with this last version of mulled wine, this is a bit excessive to be honest. The massive jug. How much is it? It's less than a litre, like 800 millilitres. So it's like a whole bottle of wine, water, sugar, spices and stuff all mulled up. So best if I put it in the correct glass. And I'm going to try and pour it without spilling it all over the table. Like I've left the bags of spices in there. Just to sort of I don't even know I've never mulled my own wine before. Okay. It's a good thing I'm using a little glass, isn't it? This big glass, the mulled wine, a bit too much in my mind. I've just got to sit down normally because my knees are giving way. Okay, it smells okay. It doesn't smell. It doesn't smell as spiced as the more expensive pre-made one that I had. It does smell nicer than this Merlot does by itself, though. Oh, that's a little bit disappointing, really. Well, I've kept the bags of spices in it, but it's so subtle. The taste of the spices is really subtle. Yeah, no, I'm disappointed. I don't know if maybe like you're supposed to mold. You see these tea bags here, and these bags of like spice. You're supposed to put it in for like 10 minutes, and I did it for way longer than that. Maybe I did it too long, and then the spice dissipated. It just tastes like a sweeter, warmer bottle of wine than it was in the first place. Yeah, Okay, so my lesson this year has been don't mull your own wine, just buy a pre-made bottle of mulled wine, but not the cheap one, the more expensive one, you'll be okay. That's my hypotheses for this evening or this afternoon. I can taste the mulling spices in it, but they're very, very faint. The problem is now I'm stuck with like a whole bottle of warmed Merlot that I can't do anything with.